Welcome back to our channel. So in this video we have discussed about why purifier disc stacks in conical shape. So let's move on to the video. So the main reason is conical stacks in reason for disc stacks in conical shape is to increase the settling surface area of the purifier. So let's see how this conical disc stacks increase the settling surface area of the purifier. For that we have to see two cases. So first case we have straight disc stacks. So straight disc stacks. In second case we have inclined disc stacks. So conical disc stacks. So let's see what will happen in this both disc stacks. So for that I take, in case 1 I take only two disc stacks, so upper part one and lower part. So here when dirty oils comes in, so here for dirty oils comes in, so dirty oils have lots of solids and water molecules. So dirty oils comes to the disc stacks between the two plates. So here I can take only one particles of solid particle, only one solid particle. For easier explanation, I have take only one solid particle. When the dirty oil will move between the two disc stacks, the flow is laminar. The flow is laminar flow. So laminar flow, what's mean by laminar flow is, so all particles are moves in a straight line. So all here you can see this of the series of the molecules, this of the series of the molecules all have a same direction and flow is smooth. Flow is smooth. So due to laminar flow, here you can see center particles of the dirty oil will be have higher velocity. From this to this upper conical stack, the velocity will be reduced. So same like this, the velocity will be reduced to the plates. Only center molecules have a higher velocity, and from these all have a gradient velocity will be reduced. So it is a center line of the purifier. So let's consider single solid particle. Here what are the force will be acted on the single solid particles is, for there are three forces will be acted on the solid this solid particle. First one is this velocity force, due to higher velocity in that middle point. So there is a velocity force on the upward direction, and due to centrifugal force. So our purifier works on centrifugal force only. So there is a centrifugal force on outward from solid. The outward force is called as centrifugal force. There's a two force. One is upward force for velocity force, and second one is downward force is a centrifugal force, and third one is gravity. So due to gravity also there is a gravity force also act on a solid particle. So here the centrifugal force is higher, many times higher than the gravity force. So we neglect the gravity force. There is only two forces will be act on the solid. One is velocity force, another one is centrifugal force. So here you can see, at that point velocity of the flow velocity will be higher in that point. So due to that, so here you can see, so the centrifugal force, the flow velocity will be higher than this centrifugal force, though. So our solid particle will be travel greater distance from the bowl. It will be travel greater distance, and here is a center line. Here is a center line of the purifier. So when the solid particles come to the center line, here centrifugal force will be increased. Because of when center line, near center line only, centrifugal force will be higher. Apart from the center line, the centrifugal force will be lower. So here the centrifugal force will be higher than the velocity force. So our solid particles will be going like this. But here one disadvantage is our solid particle will be travel higher. So our solid particle will be travel much more distance from the bowl side. So some amount of solid will be gone from the pure oil. So some amount of solid will be goes to the pure oil. So our separation efficiency will be reduced. If any particles, any solid particle come under this plate, here you can see velocity force will be lesser. lesser than the centrifugal force. So here, if any solid particles will come under this plate, here you can see centrifugal force will be higher than the velocity force. So these particles are separate out to the bowl side. But when solid particle when comes in the center part, we have a problem with some solid particle will be gone to the pure oil side. So let's go for a case 2. Here there is a inclined plates, there is a conical plates. So let's take two conical plates. So here also the flow is laminar. So here you can see, so take only one solid particles. So here you can see there is a velocity force. There is a velocity force due to centerline molecules will be higher velocity. So due to the velocity force will be in upward direction, and outward direction there is a centrifugal force. So downward is gravity force. So gravity force is negligible. Because of this, centrifugal force will be much higher than the gravity force. So we neglect that. So here you can see two vectors. So one vector is Fp, another vector is Fc. Here you can see two vectors are in different position. In case 1, there is a opposite. The two forces are in opposite direction. Here you can see two forces are in different direction. So the resultant force will be created. So the resultant force will be created in this direction. Resultant force will be created in this direction. So our solid particle will move under plates. So move under plate. Here you can see less velocity force will be there and higher centrifugal force will be there. So all particles comes in the center line of the two plates. So all particles will be, there is a resultant force. So due to that, all particles will be under this plates. So there is a coalesce. So coalescing will happen. So coalescence means small particles are gathered into and converted into large particles. So smaller particles will be come to the underside of the conical plates, and all small particles will be coalescence. Means small particles are attached to converted to large particles, and the centrifugal force will be higher. So these particles will be come to the bowl side and separate out. In case 1, some amount of solid will be goes to the pure oil side. So separation will be lesser. So here all solid particles will be gone to the underside of the plate and coalescent itself, and it separates out to the, due to centrifugal force, it separates out to the bowl side. So it's a bowl side. So by using of conical disc stakes, we have a better separation. So that only we have conical disc stakes fitted in the purifier. So thank you. Next meet up in the next video.